give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away. What would happen if a generation embraced this? Come on, tell them, here I am, here I am.
Hello, man and woman of God. Welcome back from the break. As I've told you, you are watching an amazing show today as we are behind the scenes here at Spirit Fest 2012. And again, you're watching Lift Your Voice right here on Impact Network. I'm Pastor Mark.
And I'm Lady T.
And listen, we got a special treat for you because right here on the Lift Your Voice set, man just got finished killing it. The man himself, William McDowell, is in the room.
How are you?
Bless you, man of God.
Bless you as well.
The worshiper's worshiper.
I'm a worshiper of God. How about that?
Glory to God.
Amen.
Well, you know, and the fact that you said that, because I got a couple of questions, but the fact that you just said that, I'm a worship leader. At least I was a worship leader years before I became pastoring. And what I found out, and you can talk about this, because we're going to talk about your songs and your music, and you know, we're going to talk about Arise, your latest project that's out right now, and what God's got coming in the future. But what I've discovered that today we find a lot of worshipers beginning to worship itself,
Sure,
Right.
and not worshiping God.
Sure.
Talk about that, man of God.
Well, it's a really interesting thing because, you know, I find that all encounters with God change you.
Right.
And from the beginning of my life, I guess I would say the foundational theology of worship for me began with the understanding at first that the Lord is looking at our inward posture. In other words, He's looking at our heart. And the challenge of understanding that is Jeremiah 17 says the heart is deceitful and wicked,
Right.
which means at the beginning of. So now we're saying that, you know, God's looking at our heart. But if we were to teach solely that God's looking at our heart, which most people, you know, are trying to impress God with outward appearance, but if we were to teach solely that God was looking at our heart, we would produce works. Because ultimately you'd have people who are trying to impress or please God through the works of their hands or their thoughts or their internal, but ultimately, you know, if then Jeremiah comes along and says the heart is deceitful, and then we know that God knows all things, ultimately we can't fool Him, we can't manipulate Him.
No.
And so because He's perfect in wisdom, the beginning of worship is the acknowledgement of our need for God.